What's going on, everybody? Sorry, Stacking here. So a couple months ago, International Stacker reached out to me to see if I would be willing to do a project for him, a pouring project for him. And obviously, we had to do it. So this is how it went. So as you guys already know, silver hit $100 an ounce for the first time ever a couple months ago. And in order to celebrate the event or commemorate the event, International Stacker popped a champagne bottle on a live stream, and he toasted, and somebody mentioned that maybe it'd be a good idea to cast the cork into silver and copper. So he reached out to me, and we got this project going. It's been going for a minute. It's been a while. It is a long, lengthy project, let me tell you. I can't really explain how lengthy it is without actually showing it. So we're going to do step by step of what it took to actually make these. It was not easy, let me tell you. I've already spent about 60 hours worth of time toward this project. This is not a money maker by any stretch of the imagination. We actually put a lot of effort into this, and from what I understand, they are selling for a very, very reasonable price. However, 10 of them are already gone, but we still got 10 more to do. So I am going to show you step by step on how to do this, or that's the way I do it at least. And so the first thing I do is make sure that everything that I melt is legit. So if the silver is 3/9 fine, 4/9 fine, I want to make sure that it is that purity. Same thing with the copper. But for instructional purposes only, we are going to do the silver today. So we got 10 more to do. I'm going to put these on the side, put the cork right here. We're going to bust out the Sigma. And International Stacker already has his own, right? So he has a Pro. He's already tested them. They are good. But for sake of this video and for myself, this is just how I do things. If somebody sends me something to melt, to make, or whatnot, I want to make sure it's legit before it actually reaches the crucible. And keep in mind, the crucible we used was brand new, like spanking brand new. Nothing went in there. Nothing has melted before the first batch. So we know that there is no contamination inside the actual crucible. So we got the Sigma set up to silver. And I'm just going to start testing these. So there you have it. We have tested all the rounds that he sent so far. We had a bunch of bars. I did the same process for these. We've already melted them. We've already made corks. So that was that. But this is the last bit of it. We have 5 more silver corks to do. So this should cover the majority of it. I have some more in the area where I melt. So yeah, that's the first step. We want to make sure everything's legit. So now that we have the silver tested, we can go over to the bench area. And that's where I start actually molding the cork into the sand, getting it ready or prepped for sand casting. So let me go ahead and show you that process. All right, y'all. This is phase 2. We are about to cast this in the sand, and I'm not going to be able to show all the steps just because I don't have that much time to record, but I will show you guys the end results before we actually put the molten silver in there. We already have 10 copper and 5 total silver, including, actually this will make it 6, the error. This one is one that did not come out. As you guys can see, it's a little stubby. But we just got 5 more silver ones to do, so I'm going to show you the process. And then I'll show you guys right before we melt the silver. I'm going to make these flasks first, at least the first 4, and then I'll start heating up the silver just because it takes a little bit of time. But let's get to it. Now, notice we didn't compact the entire thing when it was flipped upside down, just because we needed the sand to be soft enough for the cork to go in there. Otherwise, I've tried dozens of different ways, and this is the only way it works. So this is how it's been done, and that's how it will continue to be done to the end. Yep, so that's that part. Now we just got to do a little bit of cleaning around and then close the flask and then fill the rest. So all right, we are ready to pour these suckers. Temperature's up, everything's melted, at least the first batch. There you go. All right, I'm gonna have to put this down, and hopefully you guys get a good shot. Here is the first 2 out of the 5 for today. Not bad. Got a little cleaning to do, obviously. Actually, a lot of cleaning, but yeah, these came out pretty good. Gotta sand them down and all that, but yeah, that's how they've been coming out. Obviously, I already cut the sprue off. These were the little sprues that came off. So we got 3 more of these puppies to go. I'll try to take a better shot of the actual molten silver going into the flask. But yeah, they came out pretty nice for the most part. All right, guys, we are moving on to the next phase, which is the cleaning process. So these copper ones have already been cleaned for the most part. By clean, I mean they've been sanded down. The access, let me show you like this one. This one right here, there's a lot of access on the sides. It's just the way it poured. Got a little slag, so we shaved that down. Now we got to clean up the bottom, make sure it's nice and flat for the most part. This one still needs a little bit of cleaning on top, and then we can move on to the next process. But that's just how we have to do it. Every single one is different. So I'll run you through a few that we're gonna do, and then I'll just show you the end product before we actually stamp the corks. All right, we are done with the cleaning process. Finally, this took about 2 days worth, just about. So we had to take out all the sides that were rough on the edges. Kind of just had to sand them down. I use a tool. Where's it at? This is it's like a Dremel. It's basically what it is, and just a bunch of different fittings for it to get it to where they look right now. Not a single one is gonna look alike another, if that makes any sense. So they are all different. They have all unique characteristics. And let me show you one of my favorite silver ones. Where is it at? I think this one is this one right here. This is my favorite one. Now, a lot of people don't like the little pitting that comes out in silver pours, just because of the way the sand is, the way you casted it. But I feel like that gives it a lot of character. Those are the kind of pours that I love. So I love pitting around the edges. Just makes it very unique. This is the only one that really came out that way. But like I said, they all look different. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp these up. Now I'm sorry I didn't show the process of cleaning each one of these up. It just was taking way too much time, and I have a deadline. I'm trying to send these out in the next 2 days. So I need to stamp these. I need to tone the silver ones. I need to run the copper ones through the tumbler. So there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I also need to do the COAs and then the packing and all that stuff before the shipping. So just a lot of stuff that goes into it. So just bear with me. I am going to do the stamping portion now. Let me show you the stamp real quick. Now, you guys have all seen these or this stamp on International Stackers live stream. That's the one we're going to be using to stamp the top of these. What I'm going to have to do is I actually have to anneal these to make them a little softer. That way the stamp actually can really show and shine on these pours. So we're going to hit it with the blowtorch and then put it on the stamping block. So in order for these to come out not like this, like the stubby one, this is the error. This will be going to International Stacker. We're going to be doing something cool with this one. But in order for that not to happen, come out like a stubby, we have to use some blocks, some 2x4s. So we cut out a hole. This one's already done for because it's already the corks go all the way down to the bottom. That's the point, is for it to not come out to the bottom. So we got another one going. This one, we'll see how long it lasts. It might not last all 20, but we'll see. But shout out to my boy Breach. He's the one who gave me the idea for this to do this, and yeah, prevent that cork from shrinking or from getting short. So let's go ahead and get started. And there you go. It's just gonna fit just like this, where it's not really touching the bottom. And if it starts touching the bottom, we'll just go ahead and cut that hole off, and we'll see how long it lasts. All right, here is the first copper for today that we have stamped the top. Doesn't look all that good right now, but once we run it through the tumbler, it'll look nice and shiny. Now we just got to do the bottom and the sides. So it's a long process. All right, project is just about done for the most part. There are the copper ones, the last 10. Came out pretty good. That's the number 20. And then here we got the silver ones. These haven't been, they haven't really been touched up with the steel wool, but we got these right here. They came out pretty good. Stamping is probably one of the most underrated parts of pouring, if I may say so. Especially when, I don't know, this one, it's just, these were very, very hard to stamp. You had to figure out how to get that logo in there, and I like the stamp being pretty deep, just like that. I love the tone, just making the design pop. But anyway, that's a wrap right there. We're gonna clean these 5 up, and then we're gonna type up, or I should say write up the COAs for these, and then once everything is complete, I will show you, and we'll send it off to International Stacker. Well, that concludes the project for the copper and silver corks. I am glad this is over with. This took a lot longer than I expected, but you know, it's the kind of stuff you run into when you're doing something new, especially when it comes to pouring. Sometimes you got to figure out ways to do things and work around some roadblocks you hit, but we were able to get through it. And yeah, so these are going to International Stacker. We got 20 silver ones and 20 copper ones. Actually, we got 21 silver ones because this bad boy right here, this is the air pour. This is how they were going to come out until we figure it out how we can keep that from happening. You see how short that is? We're calling this the chubby stubby. So this one will be going out to International Stacker. He's going to be doing something fun with it. And yeah, stay tuned for that. But that's it for these. I'm actually really pleased with the way the copper came out. If you look back at the video, you can see how how bad they were when they first got casted. But after some cleaning up, they don't look too bad. So anyway, that's the copper one. Here's the silver one. I actually really like this one. I like number 18. And I'll show you right now why that is. At the bottom, it actually did not have the air pocket like most of them did. Actually, this one didn't either. Yeah, this one right here, this is a good example. Number 13 had a big air pocket. But yeah, number 18, that's pretty clean. Whoever gets this one is I think they're gonna be pleased. But I think anybody that picks up any of these will be pleased. It was a fun project. Very, very long, very time consuming, but fun. I think I spent I didn't add it up, but I think I spent well over 60 to 70 hours, probably over 70 hours on everything, completely everything. Includes making the graphic designs for the stamp to get it ready. That alone took like 4 hours. But yeah, it's definitely something worth it, I think, at the end. Hopefully everybody that gets a cork is going to be pleased with it. If not, hit me up. I probably willing to pay for it or willing to buy it back. But this is the next project that we're going to be coming up with. These are going to be the cork tops. I don't know why my camera's not focusing, but it's probably focusing on everything in the background. But these are going to be the cork tops. So basically, it's just the top of the cork, just not heavy like a full cork. And so that's going to be the design. And in the back, it's just going to be stamped with the weight, the purity, and my logo. So I think these are going to be coming out way better than this prototype looks. So stay tuned for that. That should be a really fun project, but we'll probably attack that one in the coming months. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, thank you very much for checking this video out. I know I didn't completely explain the whole process. You didn't see the exact thing I did, but it was just too time consuming. I don't even have enough space on my phone to record that much, so but you got the gist of it. That's kind of the order in how it started and how it ended. So anyway, y'all take care. Thank you very much for checking this out, and hit me up if you guys have any questions on these or anything else. Take care, y'all.